And then at the business end of the tour, a glimpse of the facilities already and significantly for Manchester under construction.
This may look like a hectic round of bland smiles and banal comments, in some respects the worst visible excesses of political activity. But the bidding process is now more strictly regulated and more thoroughly researched, and as a consequence, the likelihood of the world getting a better games in the right city has increased.
It may be Manchester, it may not. As many as half of the 90 IOC voters will probably go to Monte Carlo in September without knowing how they'll finally vote. The decision certainly won't be so frivolous as to rest on this afternoon's rain. An airport news conference suggested it might even have helped.
When I am traveling, and I'm traveling a lot, when I find rain in a country, I think always that it's a very lucky country.
President Samaran sees the Prime Minister tomorrow. The campaign intensifies. Britain's bid has a chance. Rob Bonnet, BBC News, Manchester.
The main news again. The United Nations mediator in Bosnia has warned that the UN may be forced to withdraw altogether if the West isn't prepared to send more aid. And Italy has threatened to pull its troops out of the UN force in the Somali capital, Mogadishu. Newsnight is on BBC 2 at 10:30, but from the 9 o'clock news, good night.
Good evening. The future of a Berkshire woman and her young family, who've been fighting a concerted campaign against deportation, tonight rests in the hands of a High Court judge. Naheed Ijaz faces being sent back to Pakistan after the Home Office discovered her husband had cheated immigration officials.
Campaigners have been backing her case since her passport was seized last year after the Home Office discovered her former husband had assumed a false identity to become a British citizen. He was deported to Pakistan. Shortly after, Naheed, who was granted British citizenship following her marriage, and her 4 children, who were all born in this country, were taken from their Bracknell home by immigration officials. An 11th-hour legal intervention stopped them from being deported. At today's judicial review of the decision to deport Naheed Ijaz, her barrister, Ian McCaskill QC, argued that the Home Secretary had no power to withdraw her British citizenship, just because her husband, who is described in court as being a bad penny, had been found to be an illegal entrant.
What is your thinking about the way it's gone?
I am quite optimistic.
You're optimistic? The judge, Mr. Justice Hutchinson's decision is expected in the near future.
The Conservative Housing Minister, Sir George Young, has commended the good work done by Southampton and Reading's Labour councils, who are buying up empty private properties and turning them into family homes. So far in Reading, for example, nearly 50 empty properties have been targeted, but there are more than 2,000 still empty. The government is urging other councils to follow Reading and Southampton, but critics say the scheme will have little impact on the number of homeless families in the south. That's the way it is with us. Now Ian McCaskill in London with the national weather.
Hello, a very mixed grey bag of weather for us all in the next 48 hours. After that, from Friday onwards, most of us can look forward to just a little bit of warm, bright weather for Friday and the weekend. But even so, some rain too. That's the weather chart at the moment. Front after front after front, rushing eastwards across the British Isles in the next 48 hours, bringing bands of cloud and rain as well. A lot of cloud, even between the bands of cloud and rain. Westerly winds, southwesterly winds, so never particularly cold, however. And then on Thursday, this front gradually introduces brighter weather to the west, and that's the first sign of brighter weather coming in for Friday and possibly at times over the weekend as well, although there'll still be showers to come. At the moment, a lot of rain showing up on the radar, some fairly heavy bursts of rain. That rain's gradually moving eastwards and northwards across Scotland at the moment. As it does so, gradually, I think, becoming lighter and more patchy over southern parts of Britain, and by the end of the night, over southern parts of Britain, mostly just patchy drizzle. A lot of hill and coastal fog in the west and the south in particular, quite not just in the mountains, either on the hills and the high ground too, but staying dry all the time in the far north of Scotland. A much, much milder night everywhere than we've had for some considerable time now. Temperatures in some places no lower than 14 or 15 in the south, and no lower than 7 or 8 in the far north there. Tomorrow, a grey may start certainly drizzling in places. Some outbreaks of rain in South Wales and South West England in the morning. Still some outbreaks of rain over central and southern Scotland and North East England. As we go through the day, some changes taking place. Those outbreaks of rain in the southwest gradually rushing eastwards up the English Channel, affecting southeastern parts of England. At the same time, further outbreaks of rain over central and southern parts of Scotland. And more rain getting into Northern Ireland. I did say mixed bag of weather later on in the day, but brightening up in some central and eastern parts as we go through the day as well. Blows of the winds tomorrow, southwesterly for most of us, southeasterly up over Scotland. Temperatures cool in the northeast, but milder in the south. And then becoming brighter from the west on Thursday and Friday.
With the help of his unmistakable drawings, cartoonist Gerald Scarfe ventures out on BBC 2 in 20 minutes with the new programme taking a satirical look at the British class system.
What was it about ABBA? Was it the clothes, the music, or was it the money, money, money?
I think they made millions, but they had to pay for it so heavily. They had to wear those clothes.
That's like something that's so kitsch. You know, if anybody else did it, you'd just laugh.
After ABBA, French and Saunders with something, well, different. Take a chance on an evening with ABBA with A for ABBA at 9:30, French and Saunders at 10:05, and ABBA the concert at 10 past midnight, next Tuesday on BBC1.
Stand by for resort activation.
Before the Terminator, there was Westworld.
It's an amusement park. The best amusement park in the world. All you have to do is have fun.
But one day...
Raw.
Oh my God.
Sir, we have no control over the robots at all. He's after me!
I don't doubt it. You haven't got a chance.
Come to Westworld tomorrow, 10:40, BBC1.
Boy, have we got a vacation for you.
And now on BBC1, the film that brought fame and fortune to Steven Spielberg and a shudder down the spine for everyone planning a visit to the beach.
No medical details or tests. You just sign a simple declaration when you apply. That sounds nice and easy. Well, you know what to do. Call us free on 0800 44 6644. The phone plan gives you other benefits too, all at the same inclusive price. For example, if you are diagnosed as terminally ill, you receive half the benefits straight away, helping to make your remaining time more comfortable. That's a sensible idea. You know what to do. Simply
Who of you is ready for an adventure?
During the 50s, thousands of homeless British children were sent to Australia. But it wasn't always an adventure.
Move it! We haven't got all day. Put your backs into it.
These kids are no better off, no better fed, no better clothed here than they were in England.
You mustn't give up. We're going to find Lily.
The moving drama that shocked Australia comes to BBC1, The Leaving of Liverpool, Thursday at 9:30.
If you've ever wondered whatever happened to the Likely Lads, why not rejoin them on Sunday for an evening of
wife swapping and witchcraft, suburban sex orgies, that sort of thing.
Whatever Happened to the Likely Lads on Sunday, 9:40 on BBC 2.
And now on BBC1, to learn a little of the history of those Likely Lads, we have to go back 50 years to a time when Britain was at war.